Hey everybody, I've been out here working on a project today for my new waterfall tank. I'm going to do a little proof of concept test to make sure one of the ideas I have works, and I'm going to test it on a small piece of foam material that I made long ago. I've often thought about shooting a video to talk about this little project I started and never really did anything with. This is one of the earliest things I ever tried using the expandable foam and chicken wire, and what it was going to be a cave with sort of a water fountain at the top, and the water was going to flow down the sides of the cave, and it was going to be in a big 40-gallon tank for a red-clawed crab tank. And so I sort of got the structure built, and nothing ever really became of it, and it's been sitting on my shelf for a very long time. And so now I'm going to use it upside down, and we're going to try to do a little proof of concept, as I said. But let me show you what I made, and then we can actually talk about it when we're looking at it. So that is Squeaker. Those are our newest daylilies, which I'm really excited about. Those are amazing looking. And this is my little original cave that I had made. So I don't know how well you can make that out, me holding it with one hand, but it's basically just a chicken wire framework that I roughly sculpted into the shape of a cave and then loosely covered with expandable foam, and you can see how many years old it is by how orange it's turned. That was meant to be the little basin at the top that the hose was going to go into. I was going to have a small amount of water trickling into that and then flowing down the sides. And again, I never really even attempted to do anything with this. I'm not sure why I decided that it wouldn't work for me or I didn't like it, but I just never ever did anything with it. It just sat there on the shelf. I always thought maybe someday I could do something with it. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to use it this way. And you can see where I run into problems when I'm using silicone or any kind of rubberized material. If I use that Flex Seal paint, you can see how porous this material is. And especially if you look at it from like this angle, you can imagine how the silicone or the rubber would just sort of run down into all those little nooks and crannies, and you'd think eventually it would sort of plug them up, but I always had issues with it leaking. So what we're going to try to do is get that covered up with a liner of sorts, and if I can get a waterproof liner to basically make this into a basin that holds water, we'll be heading in the right direction. So I've got an idea of how to do that. I'm in the process of doing it right now, but it's going to have to cure overnight, so that'll be tomorrow's video. We'll get out here and have a look at whether this thing holds water. But I wanted to show everybody what this sort of early experiment with expandable foam and chicken wire was. So that right there is the great grandfather, you could say, of my waterfall tank. That was the very first test run. Long before I ever thought of the idea of a waterfall tank, I was already experimenting with this, and ultimately that is how I wound up building my waterfall tank. So there you go, just a little look at a very old first run project. Some beautiful flowers, and of course my fluffy cat Squeaker over there. So thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure you're subscribed. You don't want to miss any of the build of the waterfall or whether or not I ever get this sorted out. So if you're subscribed, you won't miss that or anything else. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you real soon on the next one.